If you're struggling right now because life has handed you a series of unwanted events, then this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing some insights that are going to help you to bounce back from adversity, move forward with your life, and create the future that I know you want for yourself. It is inevitable that you will face challenges in your life's journey. It doesn't matter who you are or what background you've come from, you will have problems in your life. From health issues to money problems or relationship breakups or even career meltdowns, you will be trialed and tested at many points in your journey. But you see, what matters is not necessarily what challenges you face, but what you actually do when you're faced with those challenges. In other words, how do you rise up instead of letting your obstacles conquer you? You know, what you want is to be able to overcome the problems and the challenges that are in front of you right now, and to be able to move forward no matter what is happening in your life today, or no matter what you might face tomorrow. So here's what I tend to remember that helps me whenever I face a problem. Before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you receive updates every time I post a video designed to help you to master your life and fulfill your soul's purpose on earth. The first thing that I remind myself of whenever I feel like I'm challenged and breaking apart is that my challenges are not a personal attack on me. In other words, life is not trying to break me, life is trying to make me. And the same is true for you. See, I know that sometimes you can think, well, why do bad things always keep happening to me? Or you think that life just keeps dishing you out like the raw end of the deal, or maybe you're just not put here with the potential to thrive. But I'm telling you that life really is working on your side. And in order for you to create the life that you want, sometimes life has to work on you. And that often happens in the form of challenges. So this is why we need the right mindset, because if you really do believe that you're here to suffer and that you're here to struggle and that life is hard, then you're going to keep creating more of that experience. But if you believe that every single challenge is just a chance for you to find out what you're made of, then you're going to have an entirely different experience of life. The second thing I remember is that there is always an opportunity inside every obstacle. So this means that when you're in that moment where you feel so challenged and like really raw, like perhaps things just don't feel like they're working out for you, or you don't know what to do next and you're kind of throwing your hands up in the air because you feel so stuck or frustrated or lost. In that moment, if you close your eyes and you look inside your heart and you start listening to your higher guidance and your intuition, you will hear an answer that there is always an opportunity, but you have to be willing to look for it. That means being more invested in overcoming the challenge than complaining about what the problem is. Like if you go around and you're just constantly telling a story about how bad things are, then all your energy is going into making the problem even worse instead of looking for the opportunity that's inside of it. Now, sometimes this takes a lot of spiritual reflection, but I promise you, there is a divine order and a divine plan that is at work in your life 24 hours a day. But the thing is, you have to be willing to look for it. So instead of labeling your challenge as this bad event, start to look for what is the opportunity. Because what I've often found is that when people get challenged, it's usually a redirection, or there's something that they were missing that they now have to put their attention on, or there is an action that they need to take that perhaps they've been delaying taking. And so this is why the problem even manifested in the first place, is to get them to do that. Now, to give you an example of this, you know, how do we find that opportunity that is buried inside the challenge? I'm going to give you two examples from my own life of what the adversity was and then what the blessing or the opportunity was. And the first one was actually when I was 19 years old. So about 15 or so years ago, I had near suicidal depression and I was really broken down, and I was, I kind of fell through the cracks between school and life, and I didn't know who I was or what I was going to do with my future. And that was a challenging event in my life. I felt like everything had lost its meaning and I didn't know what to do next. And I really struggled with the idea of how to create a future. But here's the thing, the opportunity in my depression was for me to strip back everything that didn't matter to me, find the things that did, and build my whole life around it. And even as I share that, I get goosebumps because that's exactly what I managed to do. I seized the opportunity that was inside that challenging event, and I turned my whole life around. I figured out that I love to write, that I love self-development, that I absolutely was cut out for entrepreneurship, and I dedicated my whole life to that. And I spent more than 15 years fulfilling my dreams. Thank God I accepted the opportunity that was there. So that's one example of how something that is incredibly challenging can end up being one of the best things that's ever happened to you. Now, the other example I'm going to give you is a little bit more recent. And it was when my father was very, very sick, and he was about 5 or 6 months away from passing away. So I love my dad. He's amazing. And he'd had a brain tumor, and he was about to go in for surgery. And I had perhaps not been as close as I wanted to be with my dad before that. And so when I knew that he was going in for surgery, it gave me an opportunity to lean into that relationship. And I had some of the best conversations with my dad before he died. And it was because there was an opportunity inside of that adversity. And when he passed away, I knew that we were complete. I knew that we both just had love in the heart. Nothing else mattered. And I knew that that presence that we shared was the most important thing that we possibly could have done. So was it challenging? Yes. Was it a bit of an emotional ride when he passed away? Absolutely. But I got peace in knowing that I'd taken advantage of the opportunity that was being given to me. So I wanted to share those just to give you 2 real life examples of how there is always an opportunity inside of a crisis. You just have to be willing to look for it. If you're bold enough to do so, then I would love for you to share and comment below this video to let me know what is the opportunity that is inside your challenge right now. The third thing that I love to remind myself of whenever I'm facing adversity is that there is always a solution. And I mean always. It doesn't matter whether you are facing something personal like depression or anxiety, or whether you're needing a more practical kind of pathway forward like marketing for your business or, help with a career move. There's always a way forward. You just have to be willing to look. And this means being creative. It means becoming resourceful and devoting and dedicating yourself to finding the solution to whatever it is that you're facing. Maybe you need to reach out to someone and ask for help. Maybe you need to do a little bit more research, or maybe your intuition is guiding you right now as to what that next step is. But regardless, just know you are not in this life alone. You are not here to get stuck, to get beaten down, and to be defeated by the challenges that come your way. These are just doorways to the next phase of your life. They're just opportunities. They're stair steps for you, stepping stones for you to get to where you want to be. So just know that no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're feeling in this moment, the universe does have your back. You are not on your own. You do not have to do this on your own. And there are so many resources out there that can support you on this journey. I know this from personal experience. I've just been so blessed to have so many people and so many amazing things come my way whenever I've been challenged. But you know what? It's because I'm looking for them. So just remember, you've got this. You can do this. So keep focusing on this. Remember, it is not a personal attack on you that you have some challenges right now. There is always an opportunity inside of your obstacles, and there is always a solution. So don't give up. You can do this. I believe that you have enormous potential inside of you to overcome whatever obstacles you face today and create an amazing life. That's why I want to give you my Dream Life Planner template. This is a 21-page document that's going to walk you step by step through the process of designing the future that you want. All you have to do to make it yours is find the link in the video description, and just remember that when you focus on what you want, you start to attract more of that. I hope you enjoyed this video and it inspired you to overcome your obstacles. Please remember to subscribe, hit that bell notification, to like, and also to share this video with anyone that you know is feeling pretty down right now and could use some inspiration to move forward.